Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Camp Nou. And the Basques of Real Sociedad facing the dawning of a new era. The Tito Villanova era for Barcelona. Referee is Jose Luis Gonzalez. And we're underway here. Barcelona's quest to wrestle the La Liga title back from Real Madrid. The result, of course, will be known already around this stadium, that Jose Mourinho's side have been held to a draw by Valencia. So an early chance to have the ascendancy for a Barcelona side lacking several key players, perhaps rested for the Spanish Super Cup first leg against Real Madrid in midweek. So there's no Piqué at the back, no Iniesta in midfield, and no Alexis in attack, but a very pacey front three, as quick as you'd get anywhere in world football. Pedro, Teo and Messi. And here is Pedro trying to slide that through to Dani Alves. The headline team news for Real Sociedad is their joint top scorers last season are both on the bench. The Mexican international Carlos Vela, who's been signed permanently from Arsenal this summer, and Agareche. It looks very much, Terry, as if Real Sociedad are going to play the young French international, French under-21 international Antoine Griezmann as the focal point of their attack, and look for Iaramendi and Xavi Prieto to get up in support.
And Choi Castro as well on the left. It's a big ask for Griezmann, and it's a big ask for that young man as well. He'll be glad that all the pre-season is out of the way, all done and dusted. Now he can settle in, take over. I don't expect to see major changes, and very few changes in fact. I don't think he's daft. I think he realises he doesn't need to change too much. And he talks about the pacey wingers tonight. We've got pacey fullbacks. Now Jordi Alba giving a little bit more balance on the left side, so the attacks won't be predominantly down the right flank, looking for Dani Alves to push on. Expect both fullbacks this season to be pushing on for Barcelona.
A lot of eyes will be on Jordi Alba at a magnificent European Championships. Really came of age during that tournament. It's the French head coach of Sociedad, Philippe Montagnier, in his second season. Never really any doubt that they would become embroiled in a relegation battle last season. Sociedad, they finished in 12th. It was an improvement of 3 places and 2 points on their 2011 finish. Alves, I expect to see him as far forward at times as any Barcelona player. The free rein the Brazilian has in this team. First corner of the game will be taken by Xavi Hernandez. Puyol! Wonderful header. He's back. Knee surgery in the summer. Distraught at having to miss the successful Euro 2012. 34 years old, the leader, and the first goal scorer for Barcelona in a new season, Carlos Puyol.
Real Sociedad defenders complaining to the referee. They think there was a slight nudge there from Puyol. I'm afraid the defending is substandard. You have to be stronger, more aggressive than that. Puyol is always going to show his determination. He's up against Ancetegui, the great big central defender for Real Sociedad. Doesn't put up any resistance. Yes, there's a slight nudge, but poor marking, poor defensive work from Real Sociedad. Great determination, as always, by Carlos Puyol.
Here's Griezmann. Nice interchange there. Might open up here for Real Sociedad. In by Xavi Prieto! Shori Castro and Iaramendi at full stretch to try and turn it in, and this was close.
It's good work, as Griezmann plays the ball out wide. The ball's delivered in. Iaramendi is the player that gets into the goal-scoring position. There we see, there is contact, but it's not enough for a foul for me, not enough for a free kick. And I think the defender has to show a lot more resilience than what he's showing now. He loses the flight of the ball. Puyol just steps back a yard. I think Ntete has to be stronger there.
This is Messi. Lionel Messi, incidentally, has had his longest layoff in pre-season at any time in his career, and has looked very sharp in the pre-season matches. Barcelona won them all, including 2 of them by virtue of a penalty shootout against Manchester United and Paris Saint-Germain. But the Villanova reign is off to a flying start.
Just going to make that point. Not a bad way to start, is it? Villanova, 3 minutes.
Worked that nicely into space for Xavi. Out as far as Teo. Linked quite heavily with Liverpool in the summer. Christian Teo. Real breakthrough season in the first team squad last season. Jordi Alba. Comfortable take for the Chilean international, Claudio Bravo. He's in his 7th season now with Real Sociedad.
You see Xavi Preto fights the ball across. Yaramendi does really well because he takes the space that's vacated by Griezmann. That's the job he has to do whenever possible. Not going to be too many occasions.
Oh, and sloppy play by Markel Bergara. He did niggle back to good effect, but can't afford to dawdle like that. De La Bea. He's going to have competition for the left-back berth this season. Real Sociedad have signed a very promising young defender in Jose Angel, who's coming on a season's loan from Roma. Played with the Italian club under a former Barcelona player and B-team coach last season, Luis Enrique. It's off the head of Alves. Tito Villanova, I have to say, looks really relaxed. He's been that way in all the build-up and his various press conferences. Almost bristles at the thought of being compared to Guardiola, his great friend, and they came up through the ranks together as players here in the famous La Masia Academy, whilst Guardiola made it all the way through to become a legendary player in the first team. Villanova didn't make it. Went on to play with several clubs, including Celta Vigo and Mallorca. It's not his first head coach job, incidentally. He's had 3 of those down in the lower leagues. But it was really as the assistant in the B team to Guardiola that he first came to prominence. Now this is promising. And it's a goal for Chori Castro. Really well taken. On his Real Sociedad debut, signed in the summer from Mallorca. And Sociedad have shown they're not frightened here at the Camp Nou. They're willing to attack. Yaramendi went close. Castro has hit the roof of the net, 1-1.
It's a defiant response from Real Sociedad. Yaramendi, first time pass, it's a smashing pass, has the awareness. And Castro there takes a touch, composes himself, goes for powers, and Xavi Prieto into Yaramendi. First touch from Castro, takes his time, finds the space, top corner, near post. Excellent finish. But it's been a smashing response, going down 1-0 away to Barcelona after 3 minutes. They haven't gone under, they've come back, couple of good chances, and now they've tucked one away.
Here's Xavi. Certainly question marks about the defending of Dani Alves, who just seemed to be attracted towards the ball. Got tucked in right behind Carlos Puyol when Aramendi just guided the pass wide, and Castro had all the time in the world. Still had the job to do and fashioned it in accomplished style. Xavi. This is Teo. Pedro. Messi. Goal for Lionel Messi. We're off again. Maybe a slight deflection on its way, but he really shouldn't have been allowed the space he eventually got. And Sociedad on terms for what, barely a minute and a half.
I talked about a defiant response from Real Sociedad. And an instant response it is from Barcelona. And Teo drives that across to Messi, doesn't get a great first touch. Pedro gets it back into him. He shouldn't really be allowed to turn and get a clean shot on in goal. But we know he's got magic in those feet. He takes his touches. Real Sociedad defenders should do better than that again. It's a comprehensive finish from the young Argentine.
Might be fanciful to think that he can match the 73 goals from last season. And that was just for his club. If you factor in Argentina, it was 82 goals for Messi last season. It's worth repeating, 82 goals for club and country in a single season. Came from 69 appearances.
His emotions will be all over the place at the moment. A goal after 3 minutes, conceded an equaliser, another goal to go ahead. That's a hard blow for Real Sociedad to have to take to get back on level terms. Immediately concede again.
Certainly no one should underestimate the job Villanova did in supporting Guardiola for that fantastic 4 years, which yielded 14 trophies. Had a genuine say in how Barcelona set up tactically. It's an interesting lineup he's produced for his first game in charge. And as usual, particularly here at the Camp Nou, they look full of goals. Messi. Here's Puyol.
It just might be a little bit of added responsibility, I think, this year to Sergio Busquets. In the past, when Abidal has played left-back, he hasn't pushed up as much as Dani Alves. So Abidal has been the player that comes around on the cover and essentially keeps a three-man defence for Barcelona. But now with Dani Alves and Jordi Alba, I think it's really important that Busquets shows that awareness, out of possession of the ball, to take up the right position.
Alves. Strength of Messi. Crowd roaring their approval there of the work of Messi to retain this Barca attack. Alves has lost out though. Pedro getting a good challenge in on Churi Castro. Here's Jordi Alba. Xavi. Messi. Cut out well by Dani Estrada.
lesson has been learned by Barcelona since conceding that goal. They're working harder and faster to win the ball back.
It's Teo for Messi. Closed him down rather better on that occasion, but he's still in there. Take your eye off him for a split second. And that ball whistles into the back of the Sociedad net. Speed of thought and movement of Messi was quite astonishing there. Barcelona stretch out to a 3-1 lead.
And they certainly stretched out the Real Sociedad defence. They're really running them ragged at the moment. We talked about the pace on the flanks and the pace from Lionel Messi at the moment. It's just far too much for Real Sociedad to defend against. Messi wasted no time in pouncing. We see the ball going out wide. This time it's to Teo. We know he's going to drive and run up the defence, plays the ball into Messi. Initially, Real Sociedad do well to defend that situation, but when it comes back in, look how quick he is to cover that 2 or 3 yards. He anticipates the missed pass, cross from Teo, before a defender can react. Messi's sharper, quicker, and of course we know he has the ability to finish off the chance. And it's going to be an uphill struggle now for Real Sociedad. Barcelona enjoying themselves and playing some smashing football.
He literally turned a poor cutback from Teo into what turned out to be a very good one, just by that speed. They just couldn't handle him. Here's Alves. Free header in there. It won't test Bravo. He doesn't get too many with his head, but thumbs up for the service.
15 minutes he's on tour. That could have been another goal there for his first hat-trick of this season, but it's a slightly elevated cross from Dani Alves. Messi, of course, not one of the biggest players in world football, but just a shade too high from there to get the header on target.
Well, I know he's been quite keen to emphasise how much he's enjoyed that extra rest in this pre-season, Messi. When he's away from football, he doesn't embrace it as other players often do. I dare say he probably didn't watch much of the Euros, if anything, although he was naturally delighted for his Barcelona teammates that they created history in Spain, becoming the first nation to win 3 successive major tournaments. But he has that ability to switch off, and he's really enjoyed that with his nearest and dearest. But back where he left off last season, Terry.
Yep, I was going to say he's looking
ominous signs,
looking sharp, but I've never seen him look anything but sharp.
This is Jordi Alba. Brings a potential for goals from that left-back spot this season, Jordi Alba. A winger turned into a full-back. Once with the La Masia Academy, so it's very much a case of coming back home for Alba, although he did eventually come up through the ranks at Valencia. This is Pedro. Messi. Referee Gonzalez has decided that there was a foul, I think initially on Pedro. Sociedad a little unhappy with the awarding of this. Oh yeah, he's right. It was Bagara, Markel Bagara, the number 5, who just bundled into Pedro and didn't really need to do so. Could be costly.
I wonder he's over the set piece. He's averaging a goal every 7.5 minutes so far this season. It's within range. It would suit the left footer.
Well, it's going to be Xavi. Real Sociedad had a busy pre-season. They played matches in France and Italy. contrasting fortunes along the way. They beat a decent French team in Montpellier, drew with Lyon, defeated by Bordeaux, and they beat Modena and lost to Parma. "20 minutes gone." What a very interesting 20 minutes it's been to kick off a new season at the Camp Nou. Barcelona created club history, and this wonderful squad have been doing that on a consistent basis over the last 4 years. But they achieved their highest ever aggregate of goals in all competitions for a single season. 190 they scored. Astonishing total. Came from 64 games. Teo. Puyol. Alves is free. Messi. Xavi beautifully transferred out here to Teo. Easily round Estrada. Blocked importantly there by Elizondo. Busquets. Need a touch of the ball here, Sociedad. They just can't get it. And Barcelona can't make the breakthrough there. With a frustrated clap of the hands from Messi as he failed to find the accuracy. Well, they're being suffocated here, the Basques.
I think Puyol slightly slips there and falls onto the ball, touches it with his hand. Wouldn't fancy being a fullback tonight, would you, against Barcelona with the two speedy wingers? If that isn't enough, you've got two overlapping fullbacks.
Brushes off the head of Puyol. Case of Pedro, or rather Teo. Fabregas. Going to have his former Arsenal teammate Alex Song very shortly, his newest member of the Barcelona squad after agreeing that deal some 24 hours or so ago. It's a lovely run. Super run that from Jordi Alba, kind of run that brought him that memorable goal in the Euros.
How quick do you have to be for a fullback to overlap Pedro and Teo? But I think Barcelona have the two of them that can do it.
Xavi's corner.
See Xavi swinging the corner out. It's a slight touch, a slight nudge. You see, I think again, Real Sociedad had enough players. It's Ancetegui again when he gets the deflection. It's Ancetegui again, who's closest to Messi when he prods in the third.
Here's De La Vega. Want to test Jordi Alba. He's got support here from Mascherano. You can see that out quite comfortably. Played a lot of games last season. Javier Mascherano. almost seems as if that's a permanent berth for him now, at the heart of the Barcelona defence. Puyol's injuries, of course, allowed him to play that much more last season. Very rarely let Barcelona down, has to be said. Mikel Gonzalez finding Iaramendi. Now the Sociedad goal scorer Castro, who got it back to 1-1. Good reply that after that early goal from Puyol. Since then, 2 goals from Messi. And Sociedad have a big job on here if they're to try and secure their first win at the Camp Nou since way back in 1991, when 2 goals from John Aldridge and 1 from Damian Atkinson gave them a 3-1 win. Well, outwardly he's got the demeanour of Guardiola, hasn't he, Villanova? Mild-mannered. The players, to a man, have been saying how much they're looking forward to a seamless transition under Villanova. Well, time will tell. Barcelona won 4 trophies, of course, last season, but missed out on the big 2, La Liga and the Champions League. No foul. Referee had a good view of that. Poor pass from Busquets. Iaramendi. Mikel Gonzalez to go all the way back here with Claudio Bravo.
Barcelona certainly looking at this season, aren't they, from a different perspective altogether. 3 titles on the trot. I always wondered how long they could keep that motivation up, that hunger, that desire. They lost the title last season to Real Madrid. It's them doing the chasing now. New coach, and they're really up for it now for the challenge. It's a great game for them to start the season off at home, though. Obviously, Real Madrid tonight, really difficult encounter against Valencia. Tito Villanova, but delighted with the efforts of his team so far, the quality shown.
Plenty forward here again, Flo, for Sociedad. Here's Iaramendi. De La Bea. He just shaped as if he was going to cross the ball in there, decided to try and catch out Valdez at his near post. Didn't threaten.
Very ambitious, but again, they find space out wider on the flanks. Dani Alves tucked in a little bit too narrow again. I certainly think there were signs of complacency last year for Barcelona. Let's slip a few leads.
Just caught sight in the crowd there of the Spanish international basketball player, Pau Gasol, who was a significant part of their team in the Olympics when they got all the way to the final, beaten by the USA latest dream team. Pau Gasol plays in the NBA with the LA Lakers. Dani Alves. Not the pass that Griezmann needed. Pedro. To see that positioning of that Barca front line, like Spain in the Euros. No orthodox number 9, Messi. So dangerous at coming deep as he is here. It's a free back four there for Sociedad, but within 2 or 3 seconds, that could become 3 centre forwards. The speed of the forward movement of this Barcelona team, mesmerising. And so difficult, the runners to pick up.
Speed of the movement off the ball, it's the speed of the passing of the ball.
It can be so disconcerting though, Terry, for centre-halves, can't it? They're so used to being touch tight to orthodox centre forwards. Really puts them out of their comfort zone. This is Teo, doesn't lack for any confidence.
He's tough, he got Ansateg, who's a traditional old-school central defender, well over 6 foot tall. Not the most mobile and the lightest on his feet. Put him up against the big traditional number 9. He'll do a really good job for you. Fortunately tonight for Barcelona and for Real Sociedad, there is no traditional number 9. There's loads of number 10s.
Spotted pushing in there. Very strange that the Spanish Super Cup two-leg affair between Real Madrid and Barcelona is being played after the opening round of La Liga fixtures. Didn't quite see why the Spanish Federation didn't delay the start of the season by a week and, as is tradition, play the Super Cup 2 legs before the start of the campaign. But there you go, first leg coming up on Thursday. We'll have both legs for you, incidentally. Unmissable as usual. Space here for Messi. That spells danger for Sociedad. Just unable to pick out Fabregas. Good to see David Villa back in the squad. Scored in a recent pre-season match. His form has been good, I understand. Suffered that broken leg in the Club World Cup last December. His country didn't miss him a great deal in the Euros, but Barcelona missed him at times last season. When they did have injuries at significant times, it has to be said. Pedro. Offside. Just wanted that pass a little earlier there, Teo.
He never really gets himself into an onside position. Delaway up the deepest of the defenders. 2 fullbacks slightly deeper than 2 central defenders, which will be a slight concern.
Played in the Olympics, Christian Teo. 3 appearances off the bench for a Spain team that didn't live up to expectations. Griezmann showing his pace there against Puyol. The referee deciding that he would get the book out and award Barcelona the free kick. Yellow card has gone to Xavi Prieto for deliberate handball.
I think it was as well.
Oh, lovely touch from Xavi. Messi takes it on. This is Teo. Fabregas denied a shot at goal there by an important interception.
Fabregas, one of the midfield trio alongside Busquets and Xavi tonight. But he's taking the opportunity as the game has progressed to get more and more advanced, almost playing up alongside Messi, which we see him do. The first half of last season had a really good understanding with Lionel Messi. Messi dropped deep. Fabregas filled in the space. Got himself 14 goals in the first half of the season, and lost his way slightly in the second half of the season. Just the one goal. I think he fancies the chances tonight of getting forward, getting back on the score sheet.
Messi, support left and right. Onto the return, onside! Saved by the legs of Bravo. Well, right on cue. It was that Messi-Fabregas tandem.
It worked like a dream in the first half of last season, and you see two players, long-term friends, great understanding of it, the way each other play the game. That's a smashing save from Claudio Bravo. Low down, spread himself. He makes a really good block. Again, the link-up play between the two players, totally outnumbered. 3-1 by the Real Sociedad players, but still managed to get a clean shot and goal.
Jordi Alba. Lovely way to pass for Teo. Breezes past the challenge. Almost picked out. Fabregas. That was terrific wing play. And already the roots of an understanding there between Alba and Teo. Ball stolen well in midfield here by Elizondo, who tries to catch out Valdez. Wasn't too far away from doing so. That was a good try.
It's an excellent effort. Valdez can't afford to take any chances. Probably lost his bearings in terms of where he was towards his goal as he was backtracking. Brilliant skill there from Christian Teo. Beats Estrada, all ends up. Fabregas, I think Tito Vilanova has seen that as the game has progressed. He's just tinkered with it slightly and encouraged Fabregas to push further forward. Must be one of the most important jobs this season for Vilanova, to make tactical changes during the matches.
Firm header out by Mascherano. Well, it's been a highly entertaining first half. Real Sociedad have had their moments. Iaramendi almost scored for them before Chori Castro did, to level it up at 1-1 with the irrepressible Lionel Messi with a couple of goals. After Carlos Puyol opened the scoring early on. Surely we've not seen the last of the goals here at the Camp Nou. There's a mistake there by Mascherano. That's going to be a yellow card. He knows what's coming. Rare lapse there.
A couple of poor decisions there for Mascherano against Castro. And the second one, instinctively reached out, pulled the shirt, just tugged there in the back of Castro. Picks up the deserved yellow card.
Victor Valdez won the Zamora last season as the goalkeeper to concede the least amount of goals, winning it for the 4th successive season. Won by Iaramendi. That was a decent effort. It's a well-flighted free kick, and I think it was Ansategui maybe who got up there to try and guide it on target. Wasn't too far away from doing so. I mean, it was far enough away from the target, but attacked well enough.
It's a decent set-piece delivery from Iaramendi. He took the responsibility away from Xavi Prieto, the more experienced player. can see why he had the quality. Looks a really promising young player, Mendy.
Bouncy ball could be a problem, not for Valdez. Jordi Alba. Xavi. Pedro. Messi. Nicely worked between he and Fabregas again. This is Teo. Pedro! Another sublime Barcelona goal. Passing and movement of the highest order.
And you'll be pleased to got the score sheet. Opening game of the season. The player that just dropped below his usual goal scoring record last season. Niggly injuries forced him to miss large parts of it. He's back on the score sheet tonight. Good wing play from both wingers there. You see quick intricate passing around the edge of the box. The space out wide. Xavi gets the ball out there, and Teo looks up, clips it to his opposite winger. And it's not an easy finish for Pedro. Takes it first time. Side puts it back across goal. Claudio Bravo has to protect the near post. Good skill and technique from Pedro to give it Barcelona their fourth goal.
Referee just deciding for a moment or two whether there was any advantage going to accrue for Real Sociedad. He's brought play back for the free kick. Challenge there by Alba.
See, Teo does really well there, gets his head up. He knows there's loads of space at the far post. Pedro holds his run, doesn't get in there too early.
Mendy with a free kick. De La Bea sprays a really accurate pass out to Xavi Prieto. Won't reach Griezmann. Busquets saw to that. Tito Villanova said it often takes the big teams a little while to get up to speed at the start of a season. Who's he kidding?
I think it's a kind fixture for them to have, though. Real Sociedad last year, just 3 wins away from home. It's going to be interesting to see how he manages the playing time, the game time tonight at the Players. First game of the season. Some of these players are internationals and only played a little part in the last 3 of the pre-season friendlies. So I wonder if that's behind his thinking tonight, when we're going to see Alexis and Iniesta, perhaps David Villa in the second half. Perhaps he likes the Xavi arrest.
Might just have bought a soft free kick there, Xavi Prieto. Wearing a pretty guilty look on his face as he lines up for the latest Mendy free kick. Barcelona holding a high line at the moment. Now they retreat. Puyol is there. Churi Castro. Elizondo is wide of it. Comfortable clearance for Mascherano. Just had enough pace there, Markel Bagaro, with Messi breathing down his neck.
I hope he's enjoying it. If he can't enjoy this, there's going to be tough times ahead.
Well, I just wonder, Terry, how much the game is going to consume Villanova. It certainly enveloped Guardiola enough to burn him out at the end of 4 glorious years. Just get the feeling Villanova might just be able to escape it when he goes home. Guardiola was the first to admit
No chance.
he couldn't leave it alone. This is Pedro. Well, no stoppage time afforded by our referee, Senor Gonzalez. It's business as usual as the dawn breaks on a new era under Tito Villanova. Messi's amongst the goals again. Barca 4-1 up at the break. Welcome back. It's been rich entertainment up to now. If you have an allegiance to Real Sociedad, you may not necessarily agree with that comment. This has been an awful ground for them in the last couple of decades. They've lost on each of their last 14 league visits here, and almost certainly they're going to lose again. Just a question of what the final score is going to be and how Montagnier must have been scratching his head for words of encouragement to find and how they go about this task, because if they open up and try and reduce this deficit, it just could play into the hands of this Barcelona team, who've looked at their very best at times in that first 45. Without Iniesta, without Piqué, without Alexis. Teo was sparkling, clearly had the better of the fullback Estrada, testing him again. Busquets. Pedro. Alves. Fabregas. No substitutions, incidentally, at half-time. Villanova might just see at some stage tonight a perfect opportunity to reintroduce David Villa to competitive action. Mentioned in first half commentary, 190 goals last season, and they spent half of the campaign without one of the best goal scorers in world football. Amazing.
There's a spell of possession here.
Typical forceful run from Alves. Teo was waiting for that to drop on his right foot. He was shaping for the volley.
All the passing is crisp, it's sharp, it's not slow, drawn out possession.
Do you think, Terry, that Barcelona are going to reap the benefits from their pre-season programme this year?
Certainly one where they haven't had to travel too far. Most of the work would have been done at the training ground.
It's a clever touch there by Fabregas. Almost got Pedro in.
Just to make a point, commercially, I guess there was money involved in it. Don't play PSG and Manchester United pre-season. But I think predominantly it's been looking at preparing how the team can prepare properly for a full season. You see so many clubs now travelling across the world. And that's for commercial reasons, because if the coach had his way, most of his time would be spent with the players at the training ground. I think this time Barcelona stayed in Europe, just short journeys all over the place, playing games, top quality games as well. But who knows, they've started the season off here in fine fashion. As I said earlier, it's a good fixture for them to have to ease their way into the new campaign.
Not much of a rest, of course, for the players that were in the successful Spain squad. Spain team that weren't always at their best at the Euros, but when they were jaw-dropping. Performance against Italy in the final. live in the memory for a while to come. And also that extra time against Portugal, although it went to penalties, the percentage rise in that Spain performance in the opening 90 minutes to that extra time against the Portuguese was astonishing. Rarely seen a team up their level as much as Spain did on that night. Barcelona under pressure here. It's a good pass from Griezmann. And the shot from Chori Castro whistles past the left-hand post of Victor Valdez. That wasn't far away.
A couple of times there, Barcelona gave the ball sloppy in possession, gave the ball away. Griezmann gets into Chori Castro. Gets his shot away really sharp.
Well, he opened the scoring tonight. So desperate to get back after his knee surgery. An early header, and Barcelona off to a flying start to the new La Liga season. But his comeback lasts just 50 minutes. They'll be careful with Carlos Puyol. And a ready-made replacement, of course, in Gerard Piqué, who had a sparkling European Championships. That partnership with Sergio Ramos. Superb. Another player that Barcelona will wrap in cotton wool, I think, a lot more this season will be Xavi, who has a chronic Achilles problem, although you'd never have known it last season. Played 50+ games, so I don't think he'll play quite as many this time around. One of the reasons I think they've brought in Alex Song, and also for his versatility to play at the back as well if needed.
Just wondered if Puyol just felt a slight strain or something. Half-time, gave it a little bit of a go in the second half, and clearly it's not worth taking the risk for him to continue.
Fabregas. Messi. Oh, great passing. Messi. Side netting only. Mesmeric stuff between Messi and Pedro.
That's brilliant, just popping it about there. All one-touch stuff. Estrada just does enough there to put Messi under pressure. That was brilliant. He just drives his effort in towards the side netting. It would have been a wonderful goal.
Dani Alves. He of the beard. It's quite some beard he's grown over the summer. Xavi. Busquets. Xavi.
It's very much damage limitation now from Philippe Montagnier's side. Back four defending narrow, the two wide players defending deep. At times it's almost a back six.
Fabregas. Testing the pace here of Dani Alves.
Can't beat a bit of one-touch passing. In a tight area of the pitch, right around the edge of the box. It's impossible to defend against. You can see blue and white shirts going left, going right, going left, going right.
Just in case you missed the result from the Bernabeu earlier, Real Madrid, the reigning champions, were held to a draw by Valencia. It finished 1-1. Jose Mourinho on record as saying the winning of the La Liga title last season was the most difficult of his coaching career because of the challenge that Barcelona present. Also on record as saying that if any of the top sides from the leading leagues around Europe came into La Liga, they'd finish behind Barcelona and Real Madrid. Offside against Teo. It's quite a statement from Mourinho. We talk about the big two in Spain, but in his opinion, they are the world's two best teams and would match anyone in a domestic league. Just offside, Teo.
What a pass from Messi. Teo was just offside, just leaning, left shoulder. Left part of his body was in an offside position. He'll learn. Talk of him leaving in the summer. 7 goals last year, Teo. He's a good player to come off the bench. Obviously, with his pace, is always going to be a threat.
This is Chori Castro trying to unwind that left foot. Alves denied him. Pedro. Alves timed his run well there.
They're back in numbers now, Real Sociedad. Life will be really difficult for Griezmann up front, totally on his own. Real Sociedad just happy to clear the ball. Two Barcelona central defenders. Job now is just to fetch it, bring it back, start another attack going.
Superb pass from Piqué. This is Teo. First time almost that he's wasted possession. I dare say he'll smile a little more as the season goes on. Wouldn't be human if there wasn't a few nerves ahead of his big night, but it's gone very well. Mentioned earlier that Villanova had some previous coaching experience, albeit at a low level, with Palafrugell, Figueres and Terrassa. He was a midfielder in the La Masia Academy alongside Guardiola, but not in the same class as a player, that's for sure. It's a foul by Messi.
Just from Real Sociedad, thought it couldn't get any worse. Probably the best player in the European Championships from the team that won it. Player of the tournament. Maybe a little half an hour run out.
They don't show any sympathy, do they? It'll be for Xavi, I would suspect. No, it's Fabregas. When we come to recall the great players and Barcelona's history, Andres Iniesta will feature very high in the list. Still so much to come as well. Winner of 19 trophies in a wonderful career here. Xavi edges him by 1. Here is Xavi Hernandez, now Teo. Again, he's away from Estrada. Just for once, Barcelona players caught on their heels a little.
Busquets is the one for me, Kevin. I was looking today, he's won 14 trophies with Barcelona. 2 major trophies with the national team. And he's 23.
Extraordinary. Mateo. Messi. Lovely pass to pick out Iniesta. Estrada with a foot in.
It's tough around Sociedad. The defence getting pulled all over the place, but sticking to the task, making it as difficult as possible for Barcelona to find the gaps that they found in the first half. It's totally one-sided. Real Sociedad not showing any signs of getting anywhere near creating an attack at the moment.
Here's Iniesta. Chance for a breakout here for Sociedad. Vergara in strongly. Pedro has felt the full effects of that. Both players appeared to be committed for the ball.
It's just a coming together, isn't it? Between the two players, an occupational hazard. It shows Barcelona trying to get the ball back quickly. Pedro was willing to go in for the challenge. Quite easily pulled out there in the situation, 4-1 up. I wonder who that was.
That will be music to the ears of David Villa. Even Sandro Rosé, the president, is joining in the applause. Everyone has felt for David Villa after that broken leg. Chomping at the bit. Surely he's going to get some minutes here tonight. Pedro back, none the worse. Iniesta. Xavi. Now Messi. One thing that would have delighted Villanova tonight is the speed of the passing. They've moved it very quickly. When they do that, they're as good as anything to watch. Mascherano. Iniesta.
It's a change of pace, Kevin, when they get in that final third. Not a real great deal of pressure.
Another occasion, Barcelona winning the ball high up the pitch, and immediately that goal is under pressure. Xavi denied by Claudio Bravo.
It was a smashing season last year for Xavi in front of goal, 14 goals, personal best. 10 goals in the league. He tries his luck here from distance. Good save from Claudio Bravo.
PK trying to add his name to the score sheet.
So the effort from Xavi.
Carlos Vela coming on for Real Sociedad. He's just made his move to the club permanent in the summer from Arsenal. £3.8 million. That's a big outlay for a club of Sociedad's standing. Had a very good second half of last season. scored a bag full of goals, and they were important in just keeping Real Sociedad in eventually a mid-table finish. This is Teo. Iniesta. Right behind that. Just read the flight very early there, the goalkeeper. PK. Oh, he's done well under pressure. Teo.
He's going to have to change the pace of the attack. Comfortable save there for Bravo.
Mascherano. Pedro outfoxed himself there.
PK staying up the pitch there, was the centre forward in the box there. Pedro did get the cross in. Foul on Derabea from Pedro.
Still waiting for the call. Well, for all Barcelona's possession, they haven't found the net in the second half. Certainly not created as many chances as they did in that opening period, where seemingly they eventually will be seen to have won the game. Plenty in hand here. Just over a quarter of the match remaining. It's a poor pass from Alves, picked up by Griezmann.
Chance for Real Sociedad for their back four to get up the pitch, as if they want to. They're quite content to sit deep. They're not too fussed on Tenier's side about having too much possession. They've kept a good shape, kept their discipline in the second half. Their heads haven't gone down.
Risky. Just got away with that. Heart in the mouth time for a second or two there for Teo. Free kick in a promising position here, earned by Iniesta.
So there's no one for Iniesta to pass the ball forward to. He has the ability, technique, skill to see a little gap, twist and turn between defenders. Xavi had the effort in the first half.
Well, by rights, Messi should get the honours here. It is Messi. It's a decent Sociedad wall. Xavi Prieto. Mendy.
It's the perfect scenario, isn't it, to get David Villa some minutes. 20 minutes would be ample on his return. Game that's wrapped up in terms of the result. Most of the play in the attacking third of the pitch for Barcelona. Has to be said, not showing too much urgency in the second half in terms of trying to create more chances, more goals. Content to have large bouts of possession.
I think thoughts in the back of the mind. They've got Real Madrid on Thursday in the first leg of the Spanish Super Cup. Might be a minor trophy, but try telling the two sets of players they'll take it just as keenly and competitively as a Champions League tie. Never any friendlies when Real Madrid and Barcelona meet, despite the fact that many players on the pitch will be international teammates. It's a painful one for Alves. Referee Senor Gonzalez showed the yellow card to De La Bea.
This is a clear trip from the Real Sociedad fullback. It's clear we're not going to see too many changes, if any, from Tito Villanova. Rightly so, it's the reason he got the job. Just to keep things ticking over.
In by Alves. With no disrespect to Villanova, but you get the distinct impression that these Barcelona players could coach themselves. I mean, after all, they've got a coach out on the pitch in Xavi. Coach in waiting. If he wants the job in the future, I suspect, at the Camp Nou.
And I think we underestimate the part that Tito Villanova played in the success of the team under Pep Guardiola.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
And I think it was the correct decision to give him the opportunity to continue the good work that they did as a pair. I saw Villa get stripped, ready for action there.
Villanova has taken Jordi Aurora on as his number 2. Not a familiar name to any of us, but every great coach needs a good right-hand man. Villanova, I have to believe, has chosen wisely. Chori Castro, Sociedad's goal scorer, departs. And the young man brought in on loan from Roma for the season, Jose Angel, is his replacement. Lovely touch from Piqué. A smart stop from Bravo. Great touch from Gerard Piqué. Look at this for a centre-back.
That was good movement off the ball as well. Offered himself up as a genuine centre-forward there. Good movement off the ball. Back heel.
Well, David Villa's arrival is imminent. And stand by for just about the biggest cheer of the night when he comes on.
It's always good to see a player making a comeback from a serious injury. Let's hope it goes well for David Villa. He certainly strengthens the squad again for Barcelona. I think with him missing last season, the second half of last season, Cuenca and Teo came in. And they added, now you've got 2 young players that had a really good season last year. Their experience has improved. The squad is looking stronger and stronger now at Barcelona. Talk about the addition of Jordi Alba, Son.
And I think Pedro's refound his form, got back his fitness. And he's the man who's going to make way for David Villa. 30 years old, and he's loving this moment.
There's only one thing in his mind though, Kevin, isn't there? He's going to fill his boots with 15 minutes to go. He's going to do everything he can to get on the end of a chance. That's what this game has always been about and always will be about. Now ended up suffering with an injury for Real Sociedad. Of course, David Villa popular. He's been popular every club he's played for. You know the reason why that is? Because he scores goals.
Yeah, Sporting
in abundance.
Sporting Gijón reared him. He went on to Real Zaragoza. Scored, as Terry rightly says, frequently there, and earned a big move where he really came to the attention in a pan-European sense with Valencia, and then it was worldwide acclaim once he joined this outfit.
You see Teo swap sides. He's gone onto his natural side on the right wing, right-footed player, Villa. Centurion on the left-hand side, going to look to cut inside on his right foot.
Iniesta. Guess who? Jordi Alba. It's been a memorable debut for him. Villa almost releasing Alba. Well, they want David Villa involved plenty here. Welcome back.
Well, that's ominous, isn't it? An instant understanding between him and Jordi Alba.
Well, they were teammates, weren't they, at Valencia? Well, naturally, most of the talk has been about Barcelona, but full credit to Real Sociedad. They've been outplayed here, but they defended their goal really well in this second half, and they do so again.
Feeling it now, though, Kevin. More and more pressure being applied by Barcelona. It's tiring work, chasing shadows, chasing world-class footballers. It does take its toll. First game of the season. I'd be surprised to see Barcelona open up the defence on another 2 or 3 occasions now. And we'll take one of those chances. Probably.
Mascherano. Iniesta. Earns a corner out of Estrada. Real Sociedad can look forward to some Basque derbies against Athletic of Bilbao this season. We'll also see the 2 Galician clubs throughout the campaign. Good to see them back, particularly Celta Vigo, who've been 5 seasons away. Deportivo La Coruña, the other club up in the northwest tip of Spain, have bounced straight back amongst the big time. Also Betis and Sevilla in the Seville derby. Sociedad made a switch, and Javi Ross has come on for Iaramendi. Athletic Bilbao beaten, incidentally, at San Mamés in the opening weekend. Sounded a cracking game as Vela was inches away from getting a touch onto that, and had he done so, almost certainly would have scored.
Jose Angel fires the ball across goal. Transfer nearly on the end of the cross.
That game at San Mamés, by the way, finished Athletic Bilbao 3, Real Betis 5. Lots of speculation, of course, surrounding Javi Martinez and Fernando Llorente and whether they'll be leaving Athletic before the transfer window shuts at the end of August. Can't help all the speculation in their start to the season, certainly. Villa. Iniesta seemed almost impossible to emerge with the ball.
Xavi Prieto is struggling with an injury, I think, for Real Sociedad.
Ball looks for the willing run of Vela.
Mostly 3 of their substitutes. Just hobbling a bit. They worked so hard. Credit to Real Sociedad.
David Villa. Busquets. Jordi Alba. Lovely interchange with Villa. Messi seeking his first hat-trick of the season. Just the 10 hat-tricks for Barcelona last season. It was 12 altogether, including Argentina.
Again, it was sharp and decisive passing, wasn't it, from Jordi Alba? David Villa could cut back to Lionel Messi. That's the target, couldn't find a way past Claudio Bravo.
12 hat-tricks, Terry, in a season for club and country. Surely that's never been done before, has it?
It's a career total for very, very good players. Actually, very, very, very good players.
Griezmann's made a good run here. Not going to be fed in the position he wanted, but he does have the ball. Sociedad have given that away very cheaply. Lovely turn, balance, brilliant there from Messi. And a booking.
Yeah, you can see just signs of the tightness. He's just pulling him away right in front of the referee. Estrado's alongside to try and help out.
Well, there'll be better days this season for Montanier and Real Sociedad. What a way to start your season. Couldn't be tougher.
Fairness to Barcelona, they have to be at it, so often can be a good time to play one of the top sides before they get into full flow in any division throughout European football. Barcelona been right on top of it tonight.
Iniesta. Lovely cutback. Villa! Fabulous return for David Villa. A long time out, but you never lose the instinct. And the setup sublime from Iniesta.
And that's just kept the perfect opening game of the season for Barcelona. Comprehensive win. David Villa, that's a brilliant finish. Not rusty at all, not in the slightest. I'm sure that's a member of the medical staff that's helped him on his way back to fitness. But it was brilliant play from Iniesta as well, wasn't it? Let's not ignore that fact, but a standing ovation for David Villa.
Those long hours in the shadows where the medics work so hard to get these top players back to full fitness. And he's looked really sharp since he's come on here. Same applies, of course, to Iniesta, and the two substitutes linking up to great effect here.
Estrada thinks he's tackled Iniesta about 3 times then, and he's got away on every occasion. Peripheral vision to spot David Villa. Oh, what a brilliant finish.
We're into the final 5 minutes.
So many people behind the scenes work so hard, Kevin, and particularly with a player that's been out with a long-term injury. There's a whole team of people involved at the big clubs now. And the players do really appreciate the efforts that those people put in, the work they put in, the hours they put in.
Such a tight-knit squad as well, this, where even the young players like Cuenca and Teo, Thiago are embraced, made to feel a part of the group. And the love amongst them was never more graphically emphasised than the illness with that tumour for Eric Abidal, who's here to watch his teammates perform so well on the opening weekend. Still hopes to come back playing again, Abidal. He'll certainly be given every opportunity to do so by the love and affection he has here at the Camp Nou. This is nice again. Alves, Messi! He was offside, but most impudent attempt to chip the ball over the advancing Claudio Bravo.
Again, it's that one-touch passing, wasn't it? And Dani Alves tried to force his way through. What happens to Iniesta here? Just gets clipped from Delo Bella. So he's moved the ball on with that half-touch that the Barcelona players have the ability to do. The underneath of his boot gets caught by the fullback. As Dani Alves plays it, I think you can see there clearly Messi and Jose Angel makes a run back, which makes it look closer than it is, but I think Messi was clearly offside.
Another occasion, Barcelona might have had a penalty there because it was certainly inside the box and Iniesta wouldn't have stayed down unless there was contact. I think the referee was as mesmerised as any of us watching the intricate passing here and just wanted to see the move come to a fruition.
Clearly see there Messi knew that he was in an offside position. I think he was enjoying watching the little pass and moves between his Barcelona teammates. It's a brilliant little cutback from Iniesta. Loads of blue and white shirts around to try and defend the situation, as there has been for the whole of the second half.
Messi. He's lost out. One for Vela to chase, but Valdez will be in control.
I guess the only couple of concerns for Tito Vilanova tonight will be that there's a slight concern about an injury to Carlos Puyol. Maybe the fact that Barcelona conceded a goal. Joey Castro early on in the game, and they have taken a one-goal lead, but I'm pretty sure Villanova will sleep well tonight.
Rare Sociedad attack. Kept in well by Griezmann. Vela.
Better times ahead for Real Sociedad this season. Be glad to get this one out of the way now. So Vela, Griezmann's are the twos are out injured tonight. Joey Castro, Xavi Prieto, Agareche on the bench. Players that can score goals, create goals. Jose Angel's a really good loan signing them to pick up for the season.
Playing 2 minutes of stoppage time. Dani Alves. Perfect warm-up for the first Clásico of the season, coming up on Thursday. Pull up a seat and join us. We'll have the whole game live for you. Barcelona and Real Madrid meet in the first leg of the Spanish Super Cup. The champions and the cup winners, of course. Very impressive, Terry, season opener for Barca.
Yep, it was an ideal fixture for them, a team that's not particularly good away from home. Started off unbelievably well. 1-0, 1-0, but 15 minutes they were ahead again, 3-1. And then total domination, controlled the pace of the game. To top it all off, David Villa on his return from injury gets amongst the goals. It's a fantastically well-taken goal as well. Messi hasn't scored for 75 minutes.
Goalkeeper read the flight of that effectively, Claudio Bravo. Good early release as well. What a take that was from Vela. Pass just not good enough though for the willing Griezmann. The referee decides that will be enough. A comprehensive victory for Barcelona. Some of their football, particularly in the first half, in Villanova's first game in charge. Well, it's like Guardiola was here. Nothing has changed. David Villa is back, and on the score sheet, Messi bagging 2. It could have been more, but Barcelona, in the end, had plenty in hand. Final score at the Camp Nou, Barcelona 5, Real Sociedad 1.